Hey there everybody, hope your day is going well. Jacade with Old School Gaming here, and welcome back to another Wild Wednesday. It's been a while since I've done one on Proto Mario, and hell, this one has something apparently to do with the Kanto Wars. Hmm, well, should be interesting. Yeah, and hell, nothing really more for me to do, so let's just get right into it. The Pokemon Theory Kanto Wars by Proto Mario.
Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Proto Mario, and today's Pokemon theory is over the war. Now, there are several mentions in the game about war, but specifically only from one guy. Lieutenant Surge is about the only one who talks about war in Pokemon Red and Blue.
Well, he's the only character in the game you run into that has some kind of ranking, except maybe the captain of the SSAN. Unless captain is just, a title and not a rank, because, he essentially, is in charge of the SSN and not actually part of the military.
In fact, there aren't exactly any graveyards for humans, and Lieutenant Surge is one of the only few people dressed in military garments and things of that nature. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. The first things to implicate this and make it seem more valuable is the fact that you have no father and your rival is an orphan.
Wait, hold on. Did I miss something in my Let's Plays of First Gen? When does it specifically mention that, there's no fathers? I mean, what? Because, let's just say for a minute that that there was some kind of a war. Then, wouldn't more people try to mention that? Because, I'm just so confused. When is it mentioned that the rival is an orphan? Or that, you as the character have no father? Mom does mention, no, your father would be so proud of you. And hell, even in the, what the hell's the name of the city? Celadon. Celadon, when, one of the Super Nintendo things, you go up to one of them, and oh, hey, it's a sports game. Dad would love this. Dad would love this, not Dad would have loved this. In indicating present tense, not a past tense. So, seriously, when is it mentioned that, that Red has no father and the rival is an orphan? I don't think I missed anything. I'm paying quite a bit more attention than I did when I played it as a kid, but still, what?
Why would your rival be raised by his sister if he had parents, and what happened to them? You're a child going on a journey around the world because you have no father, and you're an adult, and your mother accepts that so you can make your own decisions. Anytime you meet someone, they try to offer you some piece of advice, especially if they're elders. Some people don't, but the elders usually do and tell you that it's dangerous around the corners. Most people you meet are either children or gym leaders. There's very few adult Pokemon trainers, because most of the adults are either elderly, and they're very old, involved with the crime syndicate, Team Rocket, and or are in the military, or working at the disclosed locations such as shops and things of that nature.
I think that's more just the nature of the Pokemon world itself. Because, let's just run, for a little while. Let's just run and say, oh, hey, yeah, there was a great war. Even any country, any culture, I should say, any culture cannot be purely militarized. There has to be other things. After all, if everything is just military, then everything else suffers, and the entire culture just essentially crumbles from within. And in the Pokemon world, hey, there's countless wild creatures that people capture and battle for fun and for money. So I mean, hell, might as well get started on that as early as possible. And yeah, there are plenty of adults running the different shops and Pokemon centers and whatnot. But yeah, like I said, there needs to be a support in order for there also to be a military. Because without any support, the military just falls away.
The military-esque people consist of sailors and engineers, which are primarily based out of Vermilion City. There are hospitals and gyms anywhere, but there's barely any sources of entertainment, like movie theaters and things of that nature. Yes, there's a museum, and yes, there's a safari zone. There's even an exhibit of new Super Nintendos that are groundbreaking technology. But there's just a lack of a lot of things there. There's no restaurants, there's no movie theaters, there's no skating rinks, stadiums, things of that nature.
What about all the different buildings that you can't get into? I mean, hell, it's established that, hey, the main character of these games is a 10-year-old kid. Well, I mean, a 10-year-old kid can't exactly go into a restaurant that serves alcohol. A 10-year-old kid can't exactly go into, watch Terminator 2, for instance. I watched that plenty of times around that age. Anyway, as I'm saying, there are plenty upon plenty of buildings that are just completely inaccessible. Are they just abandoned buildings, or are they places where the player can't enter because they're playing as a 10-year-old kid? That's something to think about, at least.
And the most supporting evidence of this is Lieutenant Surge. A quote from Lieutenant Surge. "Hey kid, what do you think you're doing here? You won't live long in combat." Alright, another quote from Lieutenant Surge. "That's for sure. I'll tell you what, kid. Electric Pokemon saved me during the war." Now, he said war. This isn't to be taken out of context. He said the word war. You can't really mix that up. Now, they really don't emphasize on how the war was fought, except that electric Pokemon saved him. So, did he get saved by electric Pokemon, or did he use electric Pokemon and the powers of the electric Pokemon saved him? Maybe he was going against an army of Machamps or something, and his electric Pokemon stunned them or something.
Yeah, well, Lieutenant Surge only says that, electric Pokemon saved him during the war. I mean, and there's not really much else that he says. He just says, the war. Who knows, maybe it was, a great world war? Hell, in our history, back just after World War One, that wasn't what it was called. It was just called the Great War because so many superpowered nations were involved, and yeah, it was essentially a huge mess. And besides, who's to say that the war was in Kanto, or that Kanto itself was involved? Maybe Kanto is one of the in the Pokemon universe. Maybe Kanto is one of the superpowers of the world, and they sent volunteer forces to help stop the war. I suppose that would be another theory for another day, but yeah. Oh wow, you got about a minute and a half left? I don't know. Do you have any evidence to support? Any other evidence? We are talking about first gen here, so I'm not sure how much more evidence there would be, but hell, in a minute and a half, maybe you have something.
It's a good question. Are guns used? Things of that nature? And it just raises more and more questions. So, now, there was a war in Kanto. Perhaps directly in the places that you were at. Your rival obviously lost both of his parents, and you lost your father.
Wait, hold on. the rival obviously lost both his parents. Who knows? Maybe they're both working parents. Maybe they both work, the same Pokemart somewhere in the world. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they both work as cleaners or road pavers somewhere. I mean, hell, you can't just pave a road and expect people to do it for free. People need to be paid for that type of work. So who knows what they're doing? But where's it established that the rival obviously lost his parents? Because that was your wording. The rival obviously lost his parents, and you have no father. Again, where's this established that that every parent that like both the rivals' parents and the main character's father, where is it established that they have all passed away?
There aren't barely any adults around, male figures at least, and when they are around, most of them are either sailors, engineers, or in crime syndicates like bikers or Team Rocket members. And you are among the first generation of people to live in peace in post-war times in Kanto. That's a good theory, I think. And if you have anything to add to this discussion, or you would like to leave a comment on a theory you'd like me to discuss, please feel free to do so in the comment section. Just really think on this, guys. Do you think there was a serious war in Kanto, or do you think it's outside of Kanto in another region? Leave your interesting comments in the section below. And I've been your host, Proto. Remember, guys, good gaming and God bless.
Well, that's the end of the years, and hell, counter argument would be where is it established that all the three parents are dead and that the red only has his mother left? Where is that established? Because, yeah, as I said, all the way over in Ceylon City, there's the sports game. Hey, Dad would love this, not Dad would have loved this. And hell, not... And with the rival, as I was saying, maybe the rival's parents are both working instead of, one working, one stay at home. And hell, actually, the one working parent, one staying at home, that is actually, well, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind where it's, very well established in Japanese culture would definitely be Death Note. Because, Light's father, chief of police, he spends, so much time at home that, very, very early on, as, Light's, learning more and more about the Death Note, his father says, it's really good to have a drink at home. Or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. It's been a while since I've seen that, but yeah, that's essentially established that, hey, usually, whoever is the working parent spends a lot of time at work and, not a lot of time at home. Whoever spends a lot of time at home is usually, the stay-at-home parent. And hell, even a little ways later, Light is actually bringing an extra change of clothes to the police station for his father. And, he just brings it up to the front desk, and, person at the front desk says, okay, yeah, I'll make sure that gets to him. And, that's just more, Japanese culture. Whoever the working parent is spends a lot of time at work and not very much time at home. Where whoever's the stay-at-home parent is usually, well, there's a lot of work to be done, but it's not paid work. And also, I am a little confused, because you kept saying that, Red's father's dead, and both the rivals' parents are dead, but where is that established? Seriously, where? Because, as I said, I've been paying, quite a bit more attention with my Let's Play series versus when I was just playing around as a kid. It's never really established that any one person is dead. So, what? Yeah, Lieutenant Surge does mention a war, but he doesn't say, oh, in the Kanto War, or in any region war. He just says, the war. So, yeah, maybe Kanto was involved, or maybe Kanto sent volunteer forces over to wherever the fighting was to stop the war. Try to get both sides to, do what they always had to do from the very beginning, sit down and talk. But then again, we are talking about, first generation here, so who knows? Maybe there's some context missing. Maybe something's established in, future gens. Speaking of which, now, I honestly don't know how much more I can do for Wild Wednesdays, because I mean, with those two Portal ones that I did, not too long ago, oh, a little while ago actually, but yeah, it's been so damn long since I've done anything or even played Portal, I should say. It's been so damn long that there was probably a lot of context I was missing. So, with that in mind, like, for the future of Wild Wednesdays, I only want to do games that I either have finished uploading or am in the process of uploading, because then, whatever's in the game will be a lot fresher in my mind. And that does mean that, potentially someday in the future, Wild Wednesday can possibly go on hiatus until I start uploading a different game. Hell, this first gen Pokemon, for first gen Pokemon, I've done, well, a few, mostly Proto Mario. Yeah, I honestly, well, I'm sure there's plenty of Pokemon theories, but I kind of want to stick into the realm of first gen, just because I don't really know that much about second gen, except for, like, the general knowledge. Let's see, I did one for Super Mario World. I haven't done any for Conker's Bad Fur Day or Super Mario 64, so, hell, I can start looking those up. Yeah, and of course, if the topic is just in general about video games, then I can definitely do a commentary on that. I might be able to find a few of those, I'm sure. Yeah, but hell, if you have any suggestions for a Wild Wednesday commentary, put it in the comment section down below. I'll give it a quick review and possibly do a commentary on it in the future. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that bell so you can always be notified whenever I upload another video. And of course, have fun.